Yo Mina, how's it going? This is Shomozage and welcome to watch my video. And today, well, I don't want to say anything, too much to waste the time. And this is today's main event, the Sword of Chogokin, Daizyujin, and also known as the Megazord in Power Rangers. So I'm actually holding the camera because the box is very big. So let's take a look at the box first. And Daizyujin, Sword of Chogokin. And this is the back of the box. Okay, let me adjust the light. Yeah, that's better. So you have the 5 Zords, the tank, what's that, Henching sequence, I don't know if you watch Transformers or I don't know. And this is the Megazord itself. So this is kind of a big deal. And if you're Power Rangers fans, you have to get this one. Sword of Chogokin is probably the best robot toy series so far. So in this video, it's kind of be a long video. So I want you guys first grab your drinks, take some popcorns or chips. This is gonna be a long videos, and because we have to compare this with the legacy version. So this is the box. So first of all. So first of all, let's take a look at the comparison of the box. So this is the Sword of Chogokin one, and this is the legacy one. As you can see, the box it's like one finger taller than the legacy one. Okay, so that's the box. Okay, so now we'll review the individual Zords one by one. So first is the Tyrannosaur. Let's go for the articulation first. So the head can only go this high and go this far down. You can open the mouth, and as you can see from the promo picture, here is the barrel, laser barrel gun thing in the middle. Yep, there it is, and with really nice silver paint. And you have ball joint on the arms here, so up and down, no problem. You can move in this joint, so probably this far and this far. You can move this joint as well, and also you can open the claw like this far. And you have a waist joint, nice click over there. The tail can move one by one, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 joints. And be careful with the second one from behind, because this is also the joint that you do in the Megazord mode. And the legs. So the legs can go this far back, this far side, and it's not much movement in the Zord mode, because as you can see, the tail is too big to hinge with the legs. But if you do this, it can, sort of go up and down, but well, personally I wouldn't do that, because this is the range that I can accept. So let's see, you can rotate here, and also you can move the thigh outward, but this is only for the tank mode. But if you want extra articulation, I mean, it's there. And the joint and the knee, you can only go forward that far, and backward like this far. Okay, and you can move the feet like this. This is only forward and backward. There's just no side to side or anything, because this is just a hinge. This is no ball joint. And also here is something like this. You can see here, there's a joint just come out by itself. This is for the combination for both Megazord and the tank mode. You also have one joint here that you can move one click forward. This is also for the tank mode. Okay, so overall, very good articulation. Let's do a small comparison. Here is the legacy version. Wow, if you I really don't know what to say. You just can't say anything. It's just too much as a difference. It looks like a different toy. I mean, it's a different toy, but it looks like a different concept, a different thing. And also, you can see the thruster there at the back. They're also different. But I must say the color is not so off between these two. Like the soft Chogokin version is supposed to be a brighter color, but compared with just the Tyrannosaur, it's not really different with the red color. And also the much bigger difference is the stickers. And on the Chogokin version, it's all paint. On the Chogokin version, there's no sticker on any of the Zords anywhere. That's just all paint. And this is the stickers. Okay, so that's the Tyrannosaur. Now let's move on to the Mastodon. This just not really any articulation in the body. It's all in the head, so you can move up and down. That's it. And the trunk, you have 1, 2, 3 joints that you can move. I think that's pretty good because well, let me do the comparison with the Legacy version first. So as you can see, the Legacy version, it doesn't really move. It's just a block, nothing move. But even the body doesn't have any articulation at all in the Chogokin version. But I think this is enough. I mean, for a elephant thing, what do you expect other articulation? I think this is pretty much it. This is enough, I think. And as you can see, it also molded the barrel for the trunk. It's really good. It's very detailed. Like the Legacy version, there's just nothing. It's just flat piece. So, and there's also one bigger difference is that they use the panel to cover up the gap with the Megazord feast. So yeah, this is just even it's also a big block, but it just adding so much details in it. And again, sticker on Legacy version, all paint on the Chogokin version. Moving on. Okay, here is the Triceratops, and the articulation is all in the head. There's a ball joint, and I mean you can move the head up, but that's all for the joint in combined mode. And you can move the tail. The barrel can rotate, so you can totally do that. And there's something interesting about this, that this tray actually collapses. And also these two side, they also collapse when you're doing the combined mode. But in the Zord mode, you can extend them to make it a little bit wider and bulkier. I think this is really cool. I really like these small details. By the way, there's no any wheels or rolling stuff on the bottom, so you can't really rolling around. It's just like Legacy version. Legacy version doesn't roll out as well. And there's one more big thing, is that you can freaking open the mouth. This is something I don't like about the Legacy version. Well, all the previous version of the Triceratops. I really want the Triceratops to open the mouth. I don't know why. Okay. And this is one more gimmick. It's not really articulation, but I think they use this in the show sometimes, just very few. There's a chain from the horn. You can use both sides. I really like this. Because when I see the promo photo, I thought they're gonna have something you need to add on with between the horn and the head itself, but it's not. The chain contained within itself. It's really cool. And when you need to contain it, you just slowly put the chain back, and the horn can only face one side, so that's good. You don't really need to adjust anything. It only go one side, so it fits perfectly. It's just one thing really weird is that I don't know if you can hear. I don't know if you can hear that, but when you play around, there's just a chain sound keep appearing. So let's do a comparison with the Legacy version. Well, again, stickers, paint, and the Chogokin version is a little bit, it's bulkier, and you can see here with the gimmick that extends itself, it gets even more wider and bulkier. And something I don't like about the Legacy version is this chunk piece. You don't know what the hell is this. You really don't know, because this is just like a Ankylosaurus tail is just a block. But the Chogokin version, this is you really want a barrel that you can roll with it. This is really cool. So that's for the Triceratops. Now moving on to the Saber-Toothed Tiger. So articulation, you can extend the tail, and that you can move the back legs. You can move the point here. The instruction tell you it's here, but it's not. It's actually here. So, and it's very tight. So when you move the back legs, try to be careful. And you can also move here. You can move here, like this much. And the front legs, you can hear a nice click. You can go like this far, and also this joint over here, you can go this far. This joint over here, you can go this far. So you can pretty much do whatever pose you want. And also this joint, this is more for combined mode, but it can also act as a neck joint. You can also move in this point. It's a ball joint, and the teeth is now in one piece. So if you just move one, they will just go together. And of course, you can open the mouth. Again, Lex version, you can't open the mouth. It's a big plus. Every animal toy should have an open mouth. I know the Megalodon doesn't have in this one even, but hey, the trunk can move. I'm not complaining. So that's pretty much about it. Here's another joint here. It's really tight. You can do like a swing, but it's not really meant for this mode. It's like it's the ankle tilt for the Megazord feet. So let's do a comparison with the Legacy version. Again, paint, stickers, and as you can see, the color is really different under the camera. The Chogokin version is like a brighter yellow, and the Legacy version is a little bit pale. Okay, and of course all the articulation and the non-articulation mode. And again, there's no wheel or any rolling things. They're just molded there, so you can't really rolling around with this Chogokin version, just like the Legacy version. Stand. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. So that's it for the Saber-Toothed Tiger. Okay, finally we have the Pterodactyl, a small chest piece. Well, it's not really small, but it's compared to others, not really anything. So you can move the wings. You can move the head. That's it. That's it. So let's compare with the first is the cannon thing. So just like other version, you can also put this on Pterodactyl for a kind of display stand like this. So a comparison with the Legacy version. Okay, oh shit. As you can see, the Legacy version is a bit taller because the cannon stand is a little bit taller, and the wing is smaller. This piece is all chrome, and this on the Legacy version is just a shiny sticker. And as you can see, the head is really different. This is the Legacy version. This is the Chogokin version. So the Chogokin version is sharper. So when you play around, just be careful. I got stained by it so many times. So that's it for the comparison. And one more thing before we move to the combine. So this cannon, if you don't want to use it on the Pterodactyl and you're not combining into the tank mode and the Megazord mode, you're asking, where are we going to store this? And should we just put it at the side? No. Let me raise the camera. So, open the chest of the Tyrannosaur. You see there's a hole there and there's a pack inside here. So you can actually store the cannon inside the chest of the Tyrannosaur. See? Handy. That's really cool. So you don't left anything else except the sword. So pretty much they are all in piece. You don't really have any accessories. Talking about the sword, let's do the comparison for the sword here. So this is the legacy version, and this is the Chogokin version. Let me raise the camera. So, wow, I don't think I need to say anything. The gold paint is really nice, and the handle is much longer too. It's just like my finger. I have a very big hand, so you can see it's just as big as my finger, very long, and the gold paint is just really good. Okay, now we're going to do the tank mode. So first the Pterodactyl. So when you folded the wings, remember you always fold it this one first. You know, if the chest is face your way, just fold the right wing first. Because if you do the left one first, as you can see, it's not really lined up. So you want to do the right one first. So you can see it's all a flat line. So that's it for the preparation for Pterodactyl. Now let's move on for the Triceratops. So you wanna So you wanna collapse the side and push in the tray and then the tail. So you need to flip the barrel upside down and there's a connect joint. Flip up. That's it for the preparation. And then it's the Saber-Toothed Tiger. Collapse the tail and there's a connector joint opened. You need to collapse the back leg. Flip up the teeth, front leg. That's it for the Saber-Toothed Tiger. We'll do Mastodon later. So for the Tyrannosaur, let's take out the cannon we put in. Put it aside. Collapse the arms. Okay, now here. You need to use the outward joint we talked about at the side to push that out. And the one click we talked about. And then just reveal the joint for the connect port. And we need to put the legs in like this. So do the same thing at the other side. One click and reveal for the joint. And where we go. So here for the Tyrannosaurus, you really want the legs, the feet, and the tail just lined up on the ground. So the port is facing forward, just like that. So from here, we connect the two legs first. So it's really weird. It's a kind of those tight or loose joint. You really need to have a little force inside and until you hear a click. That's it. For the other side, it's really weird because the click joint the click sound is only for the Saber-Tooth side. The other side is just it just click in. So yeah, I don't know. Okay, now let's do Mastodon. So there's a joint, this connect point here, here, and here at the bottom. So there's 3 points of the connection. Okay, so here, flip the bottom joint and flip out the joint, just like that. And you can do the trunk whatever you want. It doesn't have any instruction about that, so I'm just going to do that. And these 2 joint up there, the instruction doesn't really say anything, but you can actually hide these 2 joint. Just push down there. Okay, let's put the head first. So here you can see the yellow panel for the Tyrannosaur. Just open it up and it will reveal a hole for this connector. So it just goes in like, okay, that's That's it. It's not really easy joint to do, but it's secure, and I think this line they really hide many things really well. Okay, and for the body of Mastodon, and you open the panel here, open up all the way like this. You flip up the shoulder panel. Okay, and here, this is a certain way to collapse this. So like this, you need to do it like an S shape, like this. Collapse them, fold it in. Again, S shape, collapse. You flip up the back legs, open it. Like this. Okay, so here, there's a two point here. There's two gap at the back of the Tyrannosaur, but this is not really a joint. This is not really clap. It's just something that's secure in place. It doesn't really clap in. So the joint that holds the arms is actually the joint at the side of the Mastodon. So you need to line up the back joint first and connect the side one. Okay, and let's put the cannon. We're almost there, and come back to the back. The front back for the Mastodon have this small joint. So this is a tricky one because it's really difficult to get this in. So you need to put your fingers like this, okay, you can see, under the joint itself, and then push the joint. Push the hole of the pterodactyl over there, and do it in another side. There we go. And here we have the dino tank. So here is the dino tank. Okay, and here is the comparison for the Chogokin version and the legacy version. Sorry for the shaking because I'm actually holding the camera. I don't have much space to make these two both be inside the screen. So as you can see, the difference, of course, all the silver paint versus the plastic gray. And also from this side, because of the thigh outward for the Tyrannosaur, it actually have more space between these two front legs, just like the show. So it does not, collapse with each other with the Mastodon head, and you can see more clearance between this triangle, these three heads. Okay, and yeah. Okay, now we'll do the transformation for the Megazord mode. So first, of course, we take off the cannons. We take off Pterodactyl. Let's prepare Pterodactyl first, because why not? Just fold the head in, and again, the right wing first, the left wing goes. And also there's a connect joint here. You need to flip out, let's say for the chest piece. And here, we take off the Mastodon head first. Oh shit. And this time we take out the whole piece with the handle. This will be the shield. And close the panel. And now we do the Henching sequence. Transformation sequence, okay? Just like the legacy version, just put the Mastodon legs in and flip out the fist. And also, as you can see, I just did there. Here's the thumb with the elbow joint, so you can flip out. And now let's do the legs. Okay, so you need to flip up the head of Saber-Toothed Tiger and the leg all the way, and the head of Triceratops. Okay, and now you need to collapse the tail on the back of the Megazord. So disconnect the joint, and here in the middle one, this one, the third one from the tip, there's actually a small joint over here. This, I really like this. Compared to the legacy one, it just exposed the connector, but this is really smart. They make the joint invisible in the Zord mode. And of course you collapse this too, and then they will, oh shit, I forgot, you have to fold in the piece for the connector with Pterodactyl. So here you can hear the joint, and because the tail is articulated, so sometimes it's a little bit difficult to line up with the combine mode. Okay, now we have the clearance at the back. We can lift up our Megazord. There. You can't see the head now, but let's do the Neo joint first, because this is only for the tank mode. So for the Megazord mode, you actually need to fold it back like the Tyrannosaur mode. Fold it back. Okay, now you have the legs. And let me raise the camera. So there is. Okay. The instruction actually tell you to collapse these two thigh joint back, but you can do whatever you want. I mean, your toy, you decide. But I will collapse that in, just for the correctness of the instruction. And also here for the Saber-Toothed Tiger only, there's a heel spur you need to flip out. So that's it for the legs. Now the hands, and you open the chest for the Tyrannosaur and put the head in, close, and we take the chest piece from the Pterodactyl. So that is 3 points of the connection. One here was here, and also this piece, it will collapse with this clip here. I hope you can see it, but it's not a very strong joint at the waist there, so it's pretty much just hold up with those two joints we flip out with the Pterodactyl. Okay, and the middle collapsing when we open the horns for the Megazord. And we haven't done yet. Remember the cannon, we need to put them at the back of the Megazord. And here we have sort of Chogokin Megazord. I would like to do them like this. And also here, if you want them to stand more steady, remember the joints I talked about for the ankle tilt in the Triceratops and the Saber-Toothed Tiger. They will come in handy here. You don't have to do that, but they are there. You might as well do it. So here it is, the Megazord mode, looking really cool. Okay, so the articulation, you can move the head side to side. I think 360, no problem. Yeah, 360. And you can move the arms 360. You can move it outward like that much until the arm bump into the shoulder. You have a rotation over here. You have an elbow joint. I think it's 90 degree. We can call it a 90 degree. And also, well, you can move this point. It's more the the transformation, and there's also, I think it's a ball joint for the wrist, and here for the fingers, the thumb with the transformation, you can see it's a ball joint, and the hands can open, and it's just like those master grade Gundam. You have the one finger separate with the other three. So that's it for the arms. Because the tail locked, so you can't really have a waist joint, but if you move out this joint with the chest piece and also disconnect the tail, I mean you could have a waist joint if you so want. And then the legs, it's pretty much maintained with the Tyrannosaurus, so you can move this far forward until the leg bump into the chest piece, and not much backward because the feet of Tyrannosaur actually like hinge. Wait, no, it doesn't hinge anything. It just can't go. It just can't go backward. It just can't go backward. Yeah, it doesn't hinge anything, but it just can't go backward. And side to side, like this much only. You can move the side panel here, but doesn't really increase any range. And you can move here, rotation. But again, the feet of Tyrannosaur bump at the tail. And also, like I talked about, you can, if you so choose, you can use the outward joint for the tank mode. It doesn't really have a knee joint. Like this is how much you get. It doesn't even click. Okay, and what else? And for the, it's pretty much just the joint for the Zord itself. So the Triceratops type is here, and this I talk about. You can move side to side. Same with the Saber-Toothed Tiger, but more things hinge. Like you need to adjust with the legs and the head together, but you can move that. The head is ball joint as well. So that's it for the articulation. It's not a super articulated toy. I mean, after all, it's still a Super Sentai or Power Ranger toys. But compared to the deluxe or legacy version, there is just tons of articulation you can do. So let's give you the weapons. The sword we just talked about. Just put them in the right hand. And the shield. So this is also something the previous version can't do. Is that you can fold in like this, just what they do in the show. So this is the Mastodon shield. So here it is with the full glories of the Megazord. Now here's the comparison with the legacy version. So here you can see, surprisingly, if I line up these two perfectly, surprisingly, you can see the legacy version is a little bit taller than the Chogokin version. If we see the horn, the top of the yellow horn, not the cannon, the legacy version is a little bit taller. But as you can see, the proportion and the bulkiness is actually the Chogokin version is better. And also you have those few articulated joints. It's much better than the only arm movable joint than the legacy version. And again, stickers, paints. Okay, now as much as so many perfect things I've talked about, here I'm going to talk about some flaws, some of the disadvantage I don't like about this figure. As you can just see, the joint here is just too loose to holding the shield. Whenever you do, you see, they just move with the shield. I mean, the shield is, well, it's not very heavy. It's not the weight of the shield. It's pretty much this point because the feet of Mastodon, I think they are die cast. So this joint doesn't like the shoulder joint have the click to hold in itself. It just swivel all around. But compared with the left one, the right arm actually hold it very well. So I think that's because the shield is definitely more weight than the sword, because the sword is just a plastic piece. So I think that's one thing I don't like about this figure. And it doesn't really hold the shields very well. Like you can see, it just move around. It doesn't have any clips you can clip inside the arms. I think it's better that if they can add in some clips or some gaps you can fix those shields or swords in hands. Another thing is about the chest piece. I don't know if you can see in the previous footage, but if you move around or play around with the Megazord, you can see the chest piece is not fixed. It just move around up and down because the joint in the bottom doesn't really lock in. It just kind of sit there. It just moving. Like if I lift the Megazord like this, see, it moved right there. And because the joint, because they try to hide the joint here with the Pterodactyl mode, so the joint, well, let's say the joint of that connection point actually move around with the Megazord mode and make this toy disconnect all the time when you move around. And one more thing is the let's see, yeah, you can see here, this is what I'm talking about, just moving around. So one more thing is the chest piece for the Tyrannosaur. It's just not easy to open. I mean, now it's easy because you can do your finger here, but when it's with the Tyrannosaur head, because this red piece cover up this whole gap, so it's really difficult to get it opened. I mean, if you get used to it, it should be fine, but sometimes it's annoying when you play around. It's just something you're not happy with. I mean, this is all very small flaws, but you know, something very small with this perfect, almost perfect figure sometimes just piss you off more than those small budget figure. It's supposed to be a lot of flaws, because I have to say this is not cheap. This is the first time I bought a soft Chogokin, the series, the whole line. This is the first one. That is the only one I got, and I must say it's the most expensive collection I ever had. But I like it. To be honest, I really like this toy. But that's just something. Basically, those three. This is just three of them. Three things I don't like about what happened to it. But the color, the molding, those details, and the paints, I really appreciate they get all paints on. No stickers whatsoever. You can't find stickers with this product. That's really good. And all the silver paints, die cast, really good. And also those gimmicks, especially for the Triceratops. I really like how they do with the trays, because honestly, I'm a big Blue Ranger fan, and the Triceratops is always been my favorite. So when the Legacy version came out, there's so many things I don't like. The tail is more than in one piece. The mouth don't open. It's not even rolling. And I mean, this guy cannot roll as well, but there's just so many good details about this toy. If you like the Super Sentai series, or you like the Power Ranger series, or even you just collect Chogokin toys or even robots, this is a must-have. This is a must-have. I know, I say it's expensive, and not everyone can buy it, but I mean, honestly, I can't really buy this toy if I didn't pre-order it, and I save my money since the pre-order until now, and I get the money enough to pay this guy. So this is a fantastic toy. It's not perfect, like those flaws I say. So I'm not gonna say it's perfect because I already point out those flaws. But it's really good. So if you want, I suggest you buy it. It's really good. It's probably the best Megazord in the present time you could have. So this is pretty much for this video. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, hit the like and comment, also share and subscribe. Thanks for watching and stay safe for the next video.